Good morning, everyone. So, today we will start a new chapter, and the chapter is chapter 8 Triangles. Okay, firstly, we will revise. Okay, so you are not supposed to write these things, I will just discuss with you. We will try to recall the things what we had studied in class 8. So, let us recall this. Okay, so first one is, if the sum of two angles is 90, the angles are called complementary angles. Okay, like here 30 plus 60 will give you 90. So 30 and 60 are called complementary angles. Okay, 20 degree plus 70 degree will give you 90 degrees. So 20 and 70, they are complementary angles. Done. And if sum of two angles is 180, then they are called supplementary. Okay, like 160 degree plus 20. Okay, this will be 180. 150 plus 30 will be 180. 100 plus 80 will be 180. So 160, 20, these are supplementary. 150 and 30, they are supplementary. 180, they are supplementary because their sum is coming to be 180 degree. Okay, so complementary angles and supplementary angles are clear to you. Yes, if sum of two angles is coming 90, then those angles are called complementary, and if sum is coming equal to 180 for two angles, then those two angles are called supplementary. Okay, number two, two adjacent angles are said to form a linear pair of angles if their non-common arms are two opposite rays. Like here, let's say this is theta 1 and this is theta 2. So these two angles, okay, will be said to form a linear pair of angles if this ray and this ray, they are opposite to each other. Or in other words, we can say that theta 1 and theta 2 will form a linear pair of angles if their sum is coming 180. Okay, now next, the sum of linear pair of angle is 180. That's what I explained over here. So if this is a straight line, okay, and let's say this is angle x and this is angle y, then sum of x and y will be always 180. Okay, so in that case x and y will be called linear pair of angles. So this is clear to you. Now next, okay, the sum of all angles on the same side of a line at a given point is 180. So this is a straight line, and let's say this is a point O, and at this point you make angles x, y, this is z, this is w, this is theta. So you can see this is a straight line, okay, and all these angles are one side of this straight line. So sum of all the angles will be 180. Okay, that means x plus y plus z plus w plus theta will be 180. So the sum of all angles on the same side, okay, of a line, straight line, at a given point will be 180 degree. Okay, this is clear. Now next is, the sum of all angles round a point is 360. Let's say this is a straight line and this is a point O, and I make angles. Let's say this is X, this is Y, this is Z, this angle is W, this whole angle is theta. So if you take sum of all the angle, no, then this will be 360. Okay, so that's what it's saying. The sum of all angles round a point. So this is a point, and round the point is 360. Clear? Next, if the sum of the adjacent angles is 180, then the non-common arms of the angles are straight line. So here they are trying to say that right now I don't know whether this line is straight line or not. Okay, and let's say this is angle X and this is angle Y. If it happens to be X plus Y equal to 180 degree, if sum of X and Y, okay, comes 180 degree, then it implies that this line, okay, is a straight line. Okay, this is a straight line. Now next, if two lines intersect, means one line is here and we draw another line such that that line meets this line. Okay, let's say this is line L1, this is line L2. So this is called point of intersection. So if two lines intersect, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. Here it's trying to say that in this case this angle will be equal to this angle, vertically opposite. Okay, and this angle will be equal to this angle, vertically opposite. So let's say in this one, if this is 30 degree, then this will be also 30 degree. Okay, so this is clear. Next is the sum of three angles of a triangle is equal to two right angles. So here they are trying to say that you know that sum of angles of a triangle is how much? Is 180. This 180 can be written as 2 times 90. Okay, so right angles means 90 degrees. So that's what it's trying to say. The sum of the three angles of a triangle is equal to 2 times right angles. Okay, so or you can say sum of the angles is equal to 180 degree. Okay, next, if a side of a triangle is produced, the exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. So here it's trying to say that, let's say you have a triangle A, B, C. Okay, this is 20 degree, this is 80 degree, and this is also 80 degree. Okay, now suppose I produce this side BC. Okay, I produce it. So in that case we are getting one angle over here. Okay, theta. So this angle will be equal to sum of this and this, 80 degree plus 20 degree. So if a side of a triangle is produced, the exterior angle, this is called exterior angle, this is called exterior angle, this is called exterior angle. So exterior angle so formed is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angle. So this is exterior and these angles are interior angles. So opposite interior angles. So opposite interior angle for this angle will be these two. Yes. So exterior angle will be equal to sum of interior opposite angles. Okay. Like here, if I write like this is 70, this is 30, or let's say this is 40, okay, and this is 70. Then this angle will be sum of these two, okay, that means 110 degree. Okay, so here 110 degree, this angle is exterior angle, okay, which is equal to sum of the interior opposite angles 70 and 40. Clear? Now next, an exterior angle of a triangle is always greater than either of the two interior opposite angles. So here you can observe that this is exterior angle, okay, and this is always greater than these interior angles. See, 110 is greater than 40, 110 is greater than 70. So this is what they are trying to say. An exterior angle of a triangle is always greater than either of the two interior opposite angles. Okay. Next, the sum of the angles of quadrilateral is 360. Quadrilateral means four side figure. Okay. Let's say this is x, this is y, this is a, this is b. So sum of these angles will be 360. Okay. So if you have a square, okay, 90, 90, 90, 90, okay. So 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, it will be 360. Okay. Okay, next. Types of triangles. One more thing, till now whatever I've been discussing, you are not supposed to write, okay? Just listen to it, understand, okay? Remember, that's all. Now types of triangles. Number A, by sides, okay? We are going to classify by sides. So there would be two types of triangles, okay? Three types of triangles. One is scalene, second isosceles, third equilateral. Scalene means a triangle whose sides are unequal. Like here, AB will be not equal to BC, BC will be not equal to CA. Okay. For example, let's say this is 2 centimeter, this is 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter. Okay, none are equal. So in that case, if you have a triangle where all sides are unequal, different, then that triangle will be called scalene. Isosceles means two sides will be equal. Okay, out of three, two sides are equal. Like, let's say this is 2 centimeter, this is 2 centimeter, this is 1.5 centimeter. So here two sides are equal. So this triangle is isosceles triangle. Okay, and in isosceles triangle, like here you can see in this, AB is equal to AC. Okay, so this is an isosceles triangle, and in that case these angles will be equal. Okay, let's say this is 30, then this will be also 30. Next is equilateral, when all sides are equal. Okay, let's say this is 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter. Okay, and in that case all these angles are equal. Okay, so let's say this is x, then this will be also x, this will be also x. But you know that sum of the angles will be how much? 180. So x plus x plus x will be 180. So 3x equal to 180. So x will be how much? 180 divided by 3, that is 60 degree. Okay, so for equilateral all the angles are how much? 60 degree. Okay, by angles. Now triangles are classified by angles also. So we have got three types of triangles. Okay, first one, acute angle triangle, means here angles, all the angles will be less than 90 degree. Okay, next is obtuse angle triangle. Okay, so out of these three angles, no, one will be more than 90. Okay, and third one is right angle triangle, where one angle will be 90 degree. Okay, so if you have got 90 degree, then the side opposite to this 90 degree is called hypotenuse. Okay, this is done. Next, okay, next is perimeter. Yes, see, again I am repeating, whatever we are discussing right now you are not supposed to write. Okay, these things are in your textbook, you can always refer there. Okay, refer to that. Just right now we are just recalling whatever we had done in class 8. So next is perimeter, like let's say this is triangle ABC, this is 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter, this is 2 centimeter. So perimeter means sum of these sides. So 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 3, 9 centimeter will be perimeter of this triangle. Okay, and semi perimeter means half of the perimeter. Okay, like here perimeter is 9 and semi perimeter of this triangle will be how much? 9 by 2 centimeter. Yes, that means 4.5 centimeter. Clear? So perimeter is denoted by 2s. Okay, and semi perimeter by s. Next is medians. I think in class 8 we have already discussed about medians. So let's say we have a triangle A, B, C. Okay, let's say this is 4 centimeter, this is 6 centimeter, this is 5 centimeter. Clear? Now midpoint of BC will be at what? That means from here also 2 centimeter, from here also 2 centimeter. This is the midpoint. So midpoint of BC is this point. Let's say I denote by M1. Okay, now opposite to this side we have this vertex A. Okay, now you join this vertex and this midpoint of BC. So this line that you are getting AM1, okay, this is called median. This is called median to BC. Median to BC. Yes. Now let's say midpoint of AB, this side is here. Okay, I am denoting it by M2. Now opposite to this, okay, we have this vertex C. So join it. So we are getting CM2. CM2. Okay, so this is a line. This is called median. This is called median to AB. This is called median to AB. Now see, AC has, let's say AC has midpoint here. Let us denote by M3. So opposite to this midpoint we have this vertex V. Okay, join this. So you are getting BM3. So this BM3 will be called median to, from this vertex you have taken to which side? AC. So BM3 will be called median to AC. Okay. So median is clear, and all these, okay, these medians intersect at a point, and that point is denoted by capital G. That is denoted by capital G. Okay. This point is called centroid. This point is called centroid. Okay. Altitudes or height. Okay, or height. So here we have a triangle ABC. So here I want to measure the height of this triangle. Okay. So what I will do is, from this point A, I will drop a perpendicular. Means I will draw 90 degree. Okay. So this length AD is called height, altitude. Okay. Where BC is taken as base. Okay. So if you are taking BC as base and then taking the altitude, this would be different from if you take this AB as base. Okay. Like same, like I mean to say, this is a triangle. Okay. A, B, C. Now taking this BC as base, find its altitude. So in that case, you have to drop a perpendicular from this vertex. Okay. Done. So this height is there. Now suppose you are said that take AB as base. Take AB as base. That means now you have to drop perpendicular from C. Okay. So sometime it's not possible to drop perpendicular on this AB. So what we have to do is we have to produce this. Okay, extend this, and then we drop a perpendicular. So let's say here perpendicular is coming like this, means this is perpendicular. So this will be altitude, taking AB as base. Now suppose I want to take AC as base and then I want to find the altitude. Yes, so I have to drop perpendicular from this vertex. Okay, so this will be the altitude. So for a triangle you can have 3 altitudes. Okay, so every triangle has 3 altitudes. Okay, one from each vertex. Okay, so you are not supposed to write, just to understand this. We have already done in class 8. Okay, now we are coming to new topic. Okay, and this topic is called congruency of triangles. Okay, so here definition is given for congruent figures. So what you are supposed to write, I will tell you. Okay. Okay children, so till now whatever we have discussed, okay, you are not supposed to write those things. The first thing that you are going to write for this chapter, you will write the heading, yes, chapter 8, then triangles, and then you will write this congruence of triangles. First thing that you will write. Okay. Then you will write congruent figures. What are congruent figures? So here definition of congruent figures is given. Two geometrical figures having exactly the same shape and size are known as congruent figures. Okay. Like here I take two squares A, B, C, D. Done. This is 2 centimeter. Okay. And here I take another one E, F, G, H. here this is also 2 centimeter. So here if I take this square, okay, and I put on this square, then I'll find that this EF, okay, this EF will map with AB, this EH will go and map with AD, this HG will go and map with DC, and this FG will go and map with BC. So that means you can say that its superposition is done, okay, exactly overlapping, yes. So in that case these two squares are called congruent, okay, these two are called congruent. Suppose I have one more square, okay, let's say I have one more square, this is x, y, one second, let's say P, Q, R, S, okay, and here side is equal to 3 centimeter, okay. So here you can see that if you take this square whose side is 3 centimeter and try to overlap on this, okay, it's not possible because here this side is 3 centimeter and here it's 2, yes. So here shape wise it's okay. You can see that this square PQRS and this square ABCD, shape wise they are same, but size wise they are not same. But whenever we talk about congruent figures, no, then those figures have to have same shape and as well as size, okay. Like here ABCD and EFGH, shape wise they were same, square, and size wise also same, yes, each had 2 centimeter size, yes. So as I said, you are supposed to write the chapter name, then you have to write congruence of triangles, then congruent figures, then you write the definition. Two geometrical figures having exactly the same shape and size are known as congruent figures, okay. And for congruence we use the symbol, this symbol is written like this, equal to sign is there and then little curve type is there, okay. And like here you saw that ABCD and EFG, shape wise and size wise they are same, that means they are congruent. So all the time we cannot draw these figures, okay. So how to denote that they are congruent? So we'll write like this, ABCD is congruent to EFGH. So if you see somewhere written like this, where this denotes a geometrical figure, this denotes a geometrical figure, and in between if you see this written, okay, this symbol, then it means that these two figures shape wise and size wise they are same, means they are congruent, okay. Like same goes for the triangle also. So in this chapter we'll be only discussing about the congruence of triangles, okay. Like let's say this is one triangle A, B, C, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter, okay. And there is another PQR, okay. Let's say this is 2 centimeter, this is 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter. So here you can see that for this triangle ABC, this is 2 centimeter. So in this triangle also we have one side which is equal to 2 centimeter, okay. And we have here how much? 3 centimeter AC. So in this triangle we have one side which is 3 centimeter, done. Here we have 4 centimeter. So in this triangle also we have one side which is 4 centimeter, yes. So it is possible for you, okay, to bring this, okay, bring this and overlap on ABC, yes or no. So they are shape wise same because they are triangle, 3 side, and size wise also same because here if you see 2 centimeter, then 2 centimeter side, 3 centimeter side, 3 centimeter side, 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter, yes. So these are congruent. So how do we write? We write like this, ABC is congruent to, sorry, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, and like here, AB is equal to 2 centimeter and this side your PQ is 2 centimeter. So we say that corresponding side of AB is PQ. Okay, corresponding side to AB is PQ. Corresponding side for AC is how much over here? What is the side? PR. Corresponding side of BC is RQ. Okay, so this is clear. So you'll write this, you'll give the definition, you'll write this, and you'll write this also. Thus, two line segments are congruent if they have same length. Like this is one line AB and there is one CD, okay, and then there is PQ. This is 4 centimeter, this is 3.5 centimeter, and this is 4 centimeter. So here we'll see that AB and PQ, they will be congruent. They will be congruent because they are of same length. So this is what it's trying to say. Two line segments are congruent if they have same length. So here AB and PQ, they have same length, so they are congruent. Okay. And next, two angles are congruent if they have same measure. Like let's say this is 30 degree, okay, and this is 35 degree, and here let's say we have 30 degree. So we say that these two angles, this and this, these two angles are congruent, okay, because they measure same angle. Okay, so this is done. So you will write down till here, okay, and then you will write this congruent triangles. You will write two triangles are congruent if and only if one of them can be made to superpose on the other, means so that they can overlap each other, yes, so as to cover it exactly. Done. Thus the congruent triangles are exactly identical, that is their corresponding three sides and three angles are equal. Okay, so you will write till here. Done. Okay, so you will write till here, and then in order to write you can just pause the video and you can write. Okay, so you have to write till here, and then don't write this. Okay, no need to write this, no need to write this. I have already made you understand. Okay, no need to write. Yes, from here onwards you will write. Okay, criterion for congruence. Okay, criterion for congruence. Number one, side angle side. Okay, in short we write SAS, but it is side, this is angle, and this is side. Side angle side axiom. So two triangles will be said to be congruent if this is satisfied. Okay, side angle side axiom is satisfied, means if you have got two triangles where two sides are equal, like this side and this side equal, okay, this and this equal, and the including angle equal, okay, then we say that triangle ABC and triangle DEF are congruent. So you will write down this: if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to two sides and the included angle of the other triangle, the triangles are congruent. Okay, so you have to draw the figure and you will write down this. Okay, then angle side axiom. Okay, angle side axiom. So if two triangles are said to be congruent if two adjacent angles, okay, two adjacent angle and one side equal. Okay, like here this angle is equal to this angle, this is equal to this one, and this side is equal to this side. So in that case, angle side. Okay, so by this two triangles are said to be congruent. Okay, like for example, let's say this is 30 degree, this is this is 30, let's say this is 40, and we have one over here. Okay, let's say this is 40, this is 30, and this side is 2 centimeter and this side is 2 centimeter. Okay, so here you can see this 30, 30, 40, 40, and this side which contains 40 is 2 centimeter, and this side also which contains 40 is 2 centimeter. So these two will be congruent by angle side. Clear? So you will write down this, you will draw this figure also. Okay, in order to write, you can just pause the video and you can copy in your maths copy. Okay, number 3, SSS, side axiom. If two triangles have three sides of the one, okay, equal to the corresponding three side of the other, then the triangles are congruent. Okay, like here ABC and DF, they are congruent because AB is equal to DE, AC is equal to DF, BC is equal to EF. Okay, like 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 4 centimeter. Yes, so here 2 centimeter, yes, here also 2 centimeter, this side equal, here 3 centimeter, here 3 centimeter equal, here 4, here 4. So you can see that for this triangle and this triangle, okay, they have three sides. Okay, and you can see each side, like corresponding sides are equal. So in that way these two are congruent. Okay, so write down this also. Next is angle side angle. Okay, if two angles, like here one angle, two angle, so if two angles and the included side like these two angles are there, and we are talking about the same side which contains both the angle, okay, included. So if two angles and the included side of one triangle are equal to two angles and the included side of the other triangle, okay, then the triangles are congruent. Like let's say this is 30, this is 40, this is 30, this is 40, this is 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. Yes, so 30, 30, 40, 40, 5, 5. So by this angle side angle, angle side angle, these two will be congruent. Okay, so write down this condition also. Actually whatever we are discussing right now, these are the condition which will help you to determine whether the to confirm whether the given triangles are congruent or not. Okay, so these are conditions, so these are very important, you should know. Okay, how to how you can confirm that given two triangles are congruent triangles. Okay, then this RHS means right angle, hypotenuse and side. Like we just now we had recalled that based on angles, triangles can be classified in three triangles: acute, obtuse and right angle. So for right angles, this is right angle, the opposite side is called hypotenuse. Yes, so right angle, hypotenuse, side. So in two right angle triangles, so let's say we have got two right angle triangles, like here ABC and DF, here also 90 degree, here also 90 degree. So in two right angle triangles, if the hypotenuse of one side of the one, okay, so hypotenuse and one side, okay, of one triangle and the corresponding side, and for the other triangle, okay, like this hypotenuse is equal to this hypotenuse and this side is equal to this side, okay, so in that case we'll say that these two are congruent. So in two right angle triangles, if the hypotenuse and one side of the one are equal to the hypotenuse and the corresponding side of the other, then the triangles are congruent. Okay, so you'll write down this, you'll draw the figure also. Okay, and okay, so this is all for today. In the next class we will use these conditions, okay, to solve the problems.